so happy to be joined by Yuji Korekado. He's the producer of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Congratulations on the game.
ありがとうございます。
So obviously it is a much different game in the Metal Gear anthology than what we've seen before, obviously with Solid Snake and there being stealth. What is so essential, though, that you have to keep in the game so it really fits within the Metal Gear universe?
ゲームとしては全く別。
As far as Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the gameplay, we always wanted the action. So when we look at the action, the genre is completely different. That was all planned. Now, in order to keep it Metal Gear-esque, we felt that we needed to definitely look over the timeline and how it fits into the saga. So you look at Metal Gear Solid 4, it completed and concluded Snake's story, and the Patriots were demolished. Now, with that, everyone wants to know what happens after this, and that's where Raiden's story comes in, and from there, Raiden's story begins and creates another branch to the Metal Gear saga.
If you wouldn't mind, what is kind of the overarching story? In what I've played, it's very clear that while, in essence, the business of war has kind of ended, there are still people that want to profit from warmongering, and that's where it starts immediately. But what's kind of the overarching theme of what's happening in Revengeance?
So after Metal Gear Solid 4 and the demolishing of the Patriots and the SOP system, the information is all gone. So what happens now is freedom. Everyone has freedom, and what happens to PMCs in war once everyone has their own freedom and no information in hand? Now, as far as theme goes, each character and even bosses have their own morals and why they fight for their own freedom and why they act as if they do in the game. Now, they fight for a reason. Even though they're cyborgs, they have a reason they're cyborgs. They have a reason why they're fighting for whatever side they're on. And from there, it's a battle between morals and will. And that's the theme that we have built up in this game.
Obviously, it is a world of guns, but Raiden and many of the enemies in the cyborgs he fights have swords, which is a far more ancient form of warfare. I'm just sort of curious how you guys sort of approached bringing both old styles of combat into a very futuristic setting.
Well, growing up in Japan and being a Japanese, playing with the blade and looking at the blade, there's something about it that tickles us about it. And with that said, we didn't choose the blade as a choice because it resembles our, I guess, Japanese side. It was more about because it looks cool. Now, it's as simple as that, and when we look at it, the blade and as a cyborg, you need to cut through enemies in order to defeat them. And just using guns itself wouldn't really damage the cyborg. So in order to completely demolish them, the blade was the weapon of choice, and ultimately the rule was that it had to look cool, so the blade came into choice.
But one thing, though, it does bring out is that it's very, very, very fast, and I'm curious what the challenges were in being able to have that very quick, visceral combat and not have it sort of get out of control so the player won't be able to sort of keep up with it.
When we look over the action, this is something that PlatinumGames was looking over, the game design of the game, and this is something they're very good at. The balance of action, they have a long list of games that they've worked on in regards to action games, and they've been world-renowned about the action genre. Now, for Rising, when they took over the project, as far as the game design goes, when they are asking about the game design and balance, they pretty much have said that, no need for that. That's something we're very good at. And from Kojima Productions, never once did we ask for balance because they already had that in mind. All their studio staff are veterans that have been working on action games forever, and that's something that never really crossed our minds.
Now, you do have a sword, you're slicing through a bunch of other people, but there still are many Metal Gear qualities. You can still hide as an oil drum in this case, and you can stealth your way through the games. How dynamic are the opportunities in handling the combat situations?
So in order to increase the variety and the options for the players, we included stealth, as well as additional weapons and unique weapons. Now, this is not just for the story or anything about Metal Gear, the saga, but this was that for the users. Now, after playing so much action and cutting through things, to a point it gets dull. So we wanted to create options for the users where they can go through stealth, do the stealth kills, and use different weapons, the unique weapons they gather throughout the story mode, and use those and create different combos to further enjoy the game.
Congratulations on the game, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you soon.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is coming out on February 19th. Of course, we'll have a review then, and we're going to have some coverage leading up to it. The best way to find out is to subscribe. Go to youtube.com/Rev3Games. You can also go to iTunes, and of course, you can go to revision3.com.